was their greed and irresponsibility that got us into this mess. We shouldn't just be bailing out Wall Street. We should be restoring opportunity on Main Street.
That's right!
Now, these are the steps that we have to take right now to start getting our economy back on track. But we also need a whole new set of priorities to grow our economy and create jobs over the long term. And it starts with tax relief. There's been a lot of talk about taxes in this campaign, and the truth is, my opponent and I are both proposing tax cuts. The difference is, he wants to give a $700,000 tax cut to the average Fortune 500 CEO. I want to put a middle-class tax cut in the pockets of 95% of workers and their families. My opponent doesn't want you to know this, but under my plan, tax rates will actually be less than they were under Ronald Reagan. Now, it's true, I want to roll back and push tax cuts on the very wealthiest Americans and have their rates go back to what they paid under Bill Clinton. I'm just interested. I just want to see a show of hands. How many people make less than $250,000? Yeah, it looks like the most.
That's some screaming. Your head's getting hot.
I want you to be clear. John McCain calls it socialism when we roll back push tax cuts on the wealthiest Americans so we can give a tax break to 95% of it. I've got a different opinion. Just a few years ago, in fact, John McCain said those push tax cuts were irresponsible. He said he couldn't in good conscience support a tax cut where the benefits went to the wealthy at the expense of the middle class. Well, he was right then and I'm right now. So let me be crystal clear. If you make less than $250,000 a year, which includes, by the way, 98% of small business owners and probably 99% of plumbers, then you will see your taxes increase one single dime. You're not in Japan, but right here in the U.S. of A. That will help us end our dependence on oil from the Middle East and save our planet in the bargain. And I'll also put 2 million more Americans to work rebuilding our roads, our bridges, and our schools, laying broadband lines in the rural communities so businesses can locate there. It is time we built an American infrastructure for the 21st century. And if people ask you how we're going to pay for this, you tell them, if we can spend $10 billion a month in taxes and we've got a surplus, we can spend fix the problem in our healthcare system that we've been talking about for too long. Now, this issue is personal for me. My mother died of cancer at the age of 53. I'll never forget how she spent the final months of her life lying in a hospital bed, fighting with her insurance company because they claimed that her cancer was a pre-existing condition. Maybe they wouldn't have to pay for a treatment. I know what it's like to see a loved one suffer, not just because they're sick, but because of the broken healthcare system. It is wrong. And when I am president, we are going to make sure insurance companies can never do that again. They will not be able to discriminate against those. Now, if you've already got health insurance and you're happy with it, you don't have to change a thing. You can keep your plan, keep your doctor. The only thing we're going to do is work with your employer to lower your premiums. If you don't have health insurance, you're going to be able to buy the same kind of health insurance that members of Congress, including John McCain, give themselves. We'll invest in prevention, and we'll invest in information technologies to drive down costs for everybody, families, businesses, the entire economy. That's the change that we need. And you know, while we're at it, we are also going to make sure that our education system works for every single child. They need the skills and knowledge to compete in the 21st century economy. I will not allow countries to out-teach us today so they can out-compete us tomorrow. It is time to provide every American child with a world-class education. And that means investing in early childhood education. It means recruiting an army of new teachers, paying them higher salaries, giving them more support, increasing standards and accountability. And it means making a deal with every young person here who has the will and the drive to go to college. You know, when John McCain's economic advisor was asked about college affordability, how come you don't have a plan? How come Senator McCain doesn't have a plan? They said, well, we can't give money to every interest group. I don't think the young people of America are an interest group. I think they're our future.
Yeah!
And that's why we're going to make a deal with the young people of America. If you are willing to put in some time in community service or serve your country, in the military, in the Peace Corps, work in a homeless shelter, work in a veteran's home, wherever you're willing to serve, if you are willing to do that, then we will make sure that you can afford to go to college. No ifs,
Yeah!
That's what this election has to be about. You investing in America, America investing in you. And together, we'll move this country forward. Now, make no mistake, this is not going to come easy, and it's not going to come quick. George Bush has dug a deep hole for us.
Yeah.
It's going to take some time for us to dig ourselves in. Things may get a little worse before they get better. We're all going to have to tighten our belts. We're all going to need to sacrifice a little bit. We're all going to need to pull our own weight. I can invest more money in education, but I can't be the parent who turns off that TV set and makes sure you're
Yeah!
Now, the federal government can put more money into renewable energy, but all of us have a responsibility to turn off the lights when we leave the room and check the tire pressure so that we're getting good mileage. Little things that add up so that we can become more energy efficient. You know, at this defining moment in our history, we don't have the luxury of relying on the same political games, the same political tactics that divide us and make us afraid of each other. That's the old politics. We need a new politics. With the challenges and crises we face right now, we can't divide ourselves. We are in this together, black, white, Hispanic, Asian, Native American. Despite what my opponents say, there are no real and fake parts of this country. We're not separated by the pro-America and anti-America parts of this nation. That's right. We all love this country. No matter where we live or where we came from. There are patriots who supported this war in Iraq and patriots who opposed it. There are patriots who believe in Democratic policies and those who believe in Republican policies. There are patriots who come from all parts of this state and all across America who have served on our armed forces, who have done what's needed to be done on the battlefields. And some of them may be Democrats. I just heard something. Somebody all right? Okay? We need a medic back here. I think somebody may have just fainted. I heard something fall. Somebody fall. They'll be all right. Let's just make sure we got a medic up there. Where was I? The men and women from Nevada and all across America who serve on our battlefield. Some of them may be Democrats, some may be Republicans, some may be independents, but they all fought together. They all bled together. Some died together under the same proud flag. They have not served a red America or a blue America. They have served the United States of America.
Yeah! Yeah!
You know, we are always at our best. We're at our best when we've had leadership that called us to look past our differences, to come together as one nation and as one people. Leadership that rallied the country to a higher purpose, to a common purpose. I'm running for president because that's the country we need to be right now.
That's right. That's right.
This country and the dream of